Hello YouTube, welcome back to my channel. I apologize for it taking as long as it has, but been a little busy. So it's mid-May and I'm finally getting around to doing another video. And I thought for this one I would do a review on, switch here, these forks that I bought last year. Now, one of the things I had planned on doing was a review right off the bat, and if I had, I'd have called them a piece of junk and said forget it. So I thought I'd give them a year, try them out, work with them, see if I could get the things to work right. And after considerable modification, I finally got them to where they are reasonable. One thing that I will suggest right off the bat, if you choose to buy these forks, make sure you buy that crossbar with it. I didn't. I tried to go cheap. And when I did, all I succeeded in doing is these things would flip and flop all over the place because if you, I don't know if you can, let's see if I can get you in here to get you to see this. Yeah, let's climb right inside the bucket here. You see where this is connected? There's a bolt. Well, originally, it was like a handle thing. I'll put a picture up. As quite honestly, this is the second attempt at making this video. I tried to do one yesterday, and it came out horrible. For some reason my camera kept shutting off on me. I had it set up on a tripod and I had it running, and I walked away from it and I got about 3/4 of the way through the video, and I happened to notice that this app had just shut itself down, completely shut itself down. So I tried doing it by hand. Of course, I'm left-handed, and see what happens when I grip this with my left hand. Yeah, the stupid camera lens is over there, right where my left hand is. So I keep sticking my fingers into the lenses. So like I say, about 90% of that video was garbage. So I said, okay, we got to do something different. Now, the unfortunate part about this is I had one that I had left pretty much stock for the most part, and one that I had modified. And that was the point. That was supposed to be to show the difference between the two. Well, I didn't realize that I had screwed up the video quite as badly. Now, let's switch you around. Hey, look at my ugly face again. I didn't realize that I had screwed up the video quite as badly as I had. And it just was totally unusual. So now I've already gone and modified that other fork. And so anyway, let's get to the review part of it. Honestly, it would be in its unmodified state. If just as you get them from the company that sells these things, I'm going to tell you what I like about them, rather than tell you what I don't like. I'm going to tell you what I like about them. Yeah, that's it. There's absolutely nothing to like about those forks. As they are issued from the company, they're garbage. They're absolute total garbage. If again, I'm going to try to see if I can get you to see this. You probably aren't going to be able to. Right here, underneath this piece of angle iron that I have welded on as one of my modifications, is little tiny piece of steel sticking up, probably about 1/8 of an inch. It doesn't contact the bucket. So what you end up with is there is actual contact between here and here. Well, guess what happens when you try to tighten these things up? And then, like I say, it was like a handle thingy. I had to replace it because I bent one. They walk. these things would walk all over the place. And so you get it clamped down as tight as you could get it, but then the everything would swing and swivel, and that's how I ended up bending one of these clamping mechanisms. Was just a like a bolt with a bend, and I bent it, ruined it. I had to cut it off with the cut-off saw, and I tried to manufacture something that resembled one of those, like what you get on a C-clamp, so that when you tighten it up, it turns, but the end on the screw swivels, so that you can tighten it without it walking. And that didn't work either. That quit. So what I came up with was oh, I'm way too close. Hey, let me back off a little bit. There we go. All right, you can see right here, piece of chain and a load binder, 2 of them, as a matter of fact. I went to Harbor Freight. These are $28 a piece, roughly. And I bought one of their Tubbo chain 5/16, because that's what seems to fit in the slot. And about, there we go. Get you in the slot here. About 5/16 seems to fit in that slot the best. And but what you'll notice is, let's see, on the original as they come from the factory, this part here and where are you? There. That part there is open. So of course, what happens when you put load binders over here? Put load binders, and then you're going to dent it, which I did. Dented them all up. So what I ended up doing was I got some piece of steel, and I capped both of those. Now this one up here, if you can see it, that one up there, that one is already capped from the factory. Why? Vevor, which is the brand name of these particular, although I think there are several other companies out there that make these. Matter of fact, when I bought this, like I said, I bought the forks. That was a bad idea because I did not get the spreader bar. I went out and bought the spreader bar, but the only one I could get it from was Titan, because Vevor would not sell me just a straight up spreader bar. They wouldn't even talk to me about it. So I ended up ordering one from a company called Titan. So it's, again, like I say, if you buy these forks, do yourself a favor, spend the extra couple of bucks and buy the spreader bar with it. You are going to be heads above everything, because that will make a huge difference on the stability of these forks. But why they would not cap these ends, this one and this one, and yet they would cap that other one, it just makes no sense. The other thing I had to do is I had to add, like I said, this piece of angle iron right here on both sides, and that way there's a bearing point right there. So I think the modifications that I have made to these, buying the spreader bar, the chain, what do they call these? Oh yeah, chain binder. I've probably spent more on modifications, more time, more effort, more money on the modifications to make these stupid things work. There are other companies out there that make similar things. There's one company out there that makes one that's got a second binding point here. I'm not sure if that would make a damn bit of difference, quite honestly. You're putting an awful lot of torque on those forks, and I think that you don't need to look at all that stuff. You want to look at me? Yes, sure you do. Oh, that's crooked. Yeah, you done. you really don't want to have to spend the kind of money to modify these things. Honestly, if I was going to do this again, I might go to say some company that repairs forklifts and see if they've got old junk forks laying around that they'd want to sell off for a few bucks, and then figure out a way. I mean, if I'm going to modify stuff and weld stuff up, what the heck? I might as well go that route. So anyway, that's my review of as they come from the factory. These things are useless, absolutely, totally useless. Honestly, I would not buy them again. Now with the modifications that I make and all the money, yeah, now they're useful. Now they work, and I've been using them around here. I bought IBC totes, and I've been putting my firewood into the IBC totes. That works out pretty good. The other thing is, let's take a little walk around here. Anybody that's bothered to follow the channel and again, scraper blade greatness. I took the box off of here, and the weight box, and I put the scraper blade on, and this thing works great. I got it at Runnings. It was on sale. Not on sale anymore, so sorry guys. But oh, and this is what I did with the remainder of the chain. You buy the box o chain from Harbor Freight, or the bucket o chain from Harbor Freight. I ended up using 2 6-foot chunks for the bucket, which was actually more than I needed, but happy accident. If I ever need to put it on a larger bucket or something like that, I've got the extra chain. But I also, while I was there, I picked up some grab hooks. And now I got a short little piece of chain that I can use for lifting, dragging, along with this other old piece of chain that I had. So, yeah, it works good. I've got something coming in the mail. Should be here probably next Monday, that I'm going to be able to weigh that weight box just to see how much that weighs. I know this weighs 227 pounds, according to the website. So I'm going to want to see how much that box weighs out there. I may have to add weight to the back of this to offset the bucket. But yeah, this thing worked cool. I used it real quick. I only just bought it the other day. I used it real quick. It's 5 foot, which is tractor's 4 foot, so it's plenty. Plus it fits in between my little uprights here. See, yeah, upright right there, and an upright right there, and the tractor fits in between them, and so that fits in between them. So it was the perfect size for the tractor. Oh, side note, I did a review on these impact implements. Let's get down here. Things. These work good. I'm going to lay most of the blame on the tractor as to why this thing here, I showed you in a previous video, those arms come up fast. I mean, unbelievably fast, and it's almost impossible to control just exactly how fast that thing comes up. And so quite often what you end up doing is hooking it, and then you flip it right over on its back or something. What I learned I have to do is get in here and get these close to where they need to be. Tip it down. Get these close to where you need to be. Hook up the top link. That way there, if this does come up and grab it quick, who cares? Top link's going to keep it from flipping over. Then all you got to do is replace your, well, it's under pressure right now, you can't, replace these pieces right here, put the pin back in. I'm going to say one thing that I don't like is, if you watch the previous video, you know that this piece right here, when you pull this pin out, this comes completely out. I mean, it's the pin is hanging from this, and it comes out, and it just. I can foresee somebody losing one of those things. Either this pin comes loose and this just falls off, or you're changing things around and you drop it in the tall grass, and God only knows, maybe you can't find it. I've done that a number of times. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to pick up another piece of wire like this, and I'm going to run a second wire, if I can possibly do it, through this hole right there where this loop is. I'm going to run a second wire, and I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to run that wire. I got to try to remember to keep this camera steady. I'm going to try to run that over here somewhere, maybe around here, or maybe around one of the bolts. I don't know. That way there, if this does come loose, and even if you're changing implements, you pull the pin, you pull this thing off, and you just let it drop. Just let it drop. And then when you're ready to hook up, it's already connected by a piece of cable. So I think that's what I am probably going to do. That's going to be my one of my next modifications. I won't bother showing you on a video. I mean, come on, let's face it. That's kind of boring. But other than that, that has worked really well. It's probably not as convenient as the Pats, because the Pats has an automatic little flipper that will, once you click it up into place, that flips over and catches. That's automatic. You don't have to screw with it. But the Pats is, like I said in that other video, probably almost twice as expensive as the impact implement. So, and I wanted to try it. Nobody else is, as far as I've seen on there, has done anything with it. So just wanted to give you a heads up. The spreader bar I made, that works fantastic. As you can see right there, I actually had to lengthen that spreader bar out so that it would fit from the weight box to the blade. So that worked great. Yeah, I mean, other than that, everything is just hunky-dory. So thank you for watching. I appreciate everybody tuning in. Please like, comment, and subscribe. And if anybody has any solutions as to why my phone was just shutting itself off. I mean, just completely going out of the app, shutting the app right down, right in the middle of me filming. Now, it hasn't done it yet so far. I've been watching this thing. Let me switch you around, because you want to look at me. You don't want to look at the tractor. You want to look at me. So if anybody can come up with a reason as to why that was doing that. I've gone into the settings and I've tried to figure out why. I don't know if it was because it was motionless. It's never done that to me before, but then again, my phone took a giant dump on me last fall, and I had to do a factory reset on it, which means I lost everything, all my apps, everything. I had to repopulate it all, start all over again, like it was a brand new phone. So I'm wondering if something changed, or maybe one of the updates, the motion sensor in this thing doesn't detect motion, and therefore says, well, if you're not moving, you're not using me, I'm going to shut myself down. So I don't know if I've fixed this problem or not, but anyway, if anybody has any comments, can tell me what an idiot I am, because I don't know what I'm doing with this phone. It's just obvious. They can let me know. All right, guys. Appreciate it. Again, like, comment, subscribe, and we'll see you on the next video.